Okay, welcome back to part 2. Right, in part 1 we've done this beautiful splash. I'm going to continue on with this now, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work on the rock, because the rocks are just not doing anything for me at the moment. They're just not working, okay? So I'm just going to take a little flat brush. Now I have some clean turpentine and some tissue here. I left my palette because it's not that bad. Let's take a little, I want to warm it slightly, just to rock, just a little cadmium red, and let's go with a little burnt umber. Let me just have a look at that now, a nice pinky brown, and let's warm it just a little, okay? Now my painting is almost dry. Some of the white is still wet, but the browns and the blacks are drying very well, if you know what I mean. So it is nice to be able to put this darker colour over it. It's almost like a glaze. Do you know what I mean? It's been a couple of hours since I have painted this much of the painting, so it's kind of drying in that little bit. Just it's a little bit, it's still sticky in the lighter areas, but the darker areas are kind of drying nicely. So let's take some Naples yellow now with a little cadmium red, and I'm going to then introduce that colour, just a hint of it, just here and there. I'm just very delicately just adding a hint of it, look, just a hint. It's just to give the rock just that little bit of life. That's all I want to do. Little bit of light just here and there. And now that's even enough. And my next job then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small pointy brush, and I'm going to mix a light bluey kind of a colour, so some blue with some white, and let's even take a hint of pink as well. So I have this mauvey colour, and I'm going to add this in on top of the rock, just here and there, okay? Just to simulate the light catching the rock inside. Now I will add a little bit of the turquoise colour as well, but for now it's just this colour. It's just catching the light in places. Now sit back, keep sitting back and looking. Now you see what I mean? That's much nicer now, isn't it? Now I'm just going to clean my brush here. Right, let's get some more of that colour and put a hint of that over here as well. Okay, just catching the rock, just a little here and there. And then what I'll do is get some turpentine with a bit of black on it, and I'll go in under some of those blue lines that I just filled in, okay? Just to give the impression that it's like a crack on the rock and there's a crevice there or something like that. You see what I mean? It just helps bring some life into the rock. Now I'm going to add some dark down here as well. Let's see, some black. Let's even add a hint of blue into that black and give it some nice strong dark shadows, okay? Nice and strong. And let's go over here. I know you can't see much of this. Well, you can't see too much of it anyhow, but up close you can. Now a little bit of that bluey colour just down in here. In fact, let's take just blue on its own and a little bit of blue down into these shaded areas, because it will reflect the light from the water, you know what I mean? There we are, a little bit there, and let me take a look at this now. That's nice, I like that. That's nice there now, that colour. I might add a little of that colour in over here, just a hint as well. And then again take some black, lots of watery black, and I'll create a little bit of detail just here and there on this rock on this side here, okay? Just a hint, just to show you that there is lots of different bits of the rock there. It's not just one flat, it's not one flat slab of concrete or of rock, do you understand? So just to show you that there is all these little crevices going on, and this will give the rock some nice detail as well. Now I come down like this, look, and give it one big crevice there, and it'll soften the black up then very slightly here and there. Okay, that'll give the effect of a separate piece of jagged rock. Yes? There we are, and we can soften it off then in like that. Okay, let me sit back now and take a look at this. That's not bad, no, that's quite nice. Now what I wanted to do was, I wanted to add some of the turquoisey colour to this, but what I'm going to do first is just redefine that very dark outline just at the top of the rock there, okay? Because that's really nice. I really like that outline, I want to keep that. And then I'm going to add hints of the dark blue just up here from the water, okay? The water is kind of splashing down and going onto that rock. And what you could even do, it's not on the photograph, another good idea would be to put some of the water coming down at a slight angle and give it a couple of wiggles, see? So you can see the water is kind of finding its way across the rock. You see that? And down into the water, and let's soften it in then there just at the base, look. Isn't that wonderful? Now it's really coming to life, isn't it? So, while I was going back to there, I was talking about the turquoise. I want to make a nice turquoisey colour for the rock. So it's basically just going to be a dark turquoisey kind of a blue colour. So a bit more blue in the mix, and you know, a little bit of yellow as well, so it's not completely green, it's a blue kind of a green. And let's just add little hints of that here and there on the rock, you see. Now maybe a hint more yellow, and it's only kind of glancing across the rock here and there, that's all. Okay, it's not very big, but it's there. It's just that little hint of turquoise on the rock. Let me go up here now. There we are. Done. That's plenty. That is absolutely plenty. And then, to finish this rock now completely, I'm taking very watery black, and I'm going to just refine some of the cracks along on the rock, okay? Just here and there, in between some of that turquoise. I'm coming over. Okay, there we go. I won't overdo it. I think that's pretty good. So we're pretty much kind of 99% done now with this rock here, right? Let's just add a couple of more little tiny splashes just to kind of soften it across that little bit. You see what I mean? Just a hint of it just here and there, like so. And a couple there. Just to make it a bit more natural. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is come over here, I'm going to add a touch of light here and there on some of those little cracks as well. Perhaps a hint of Naples yellow, just to kind of warm it up that little bit. And let me sit back, take a look. Yes, I'm happy with that. Let's now move on down. This area down here, I'm very excited about this. I'm going to make a mix now of blue. I'm thinking, yeah, a nice bluey green for this one. Let me get some phthalo blue. Let me find it. There it is. Phthalo blue, my favourite colour probably. Probably my favourite colour in my box, I would think. And let's take some phthalo blue. Plenty of turpentine in this now, so it flows right along very well, okay? And I'll take a hint of, let me take a hint of Naples yellow. And let me just take a look at that now and see how that looks. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm thinking a hint of black perhaps. So let's try that again. Some phthalo blue. Again, another little dot of thinners. Some yellow and a hint of black. How about that? Yeah, I'll go with that now just as a kind of an infill kind of a colour, okay? I'll leave where the splash is coming along because I want to keep that nice and bright. Wherever you have very bright splash, try to leave that area clean if you can, because it just helps you in the long run when you're trying to brighten all that section up. Okay? It really will make a big difference. So again, more blue, a hint of yellow and a hint of black. And as I come over, it's going to get much darker now, isn't it? So I'll go in there with some black and some yellow. Now that makes it green, I know, but there's only a hint of yellow in this. Just a hint, a very small hint. So I'll go right across like that now. Take some Naples yellow into that. And in fact, what I'm going to do, just to help me along here now for a moment, I'm going to just dampen some tissue with some linseed oil, okay? Or some thinners, rather. And I'm going to go along the rest of that there, okay? That's fine, that'll do. It's just to help me with my brush and to help me with the paint, to help it flow along that little bit better. That's all I'm using it for, okay? That is all. So a little bit more blue now to that, a little bit of black. There we go, we have a nice green, blacky greeny colour there now. And soften everything together. Okay, let's go again. Let's take some more of that. Some more blue, some more black, and I need some more yellow on my palette. Let's crack on with a bit of this now. So this is turning out really fun now, isn't it? It really is a wonderful painting. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I hope you're happy, most importantly, because this is all for you people out there, to help you just understand a little bit better about using oils and about getting certain techniques. Now, okay, they don't need to be very complicated techniques. Some of these techniques were a little bit tricky, I would say. But you could kind of incorporate your own techniques into this as well, and you know, add your own little effects. You don't necessarily have to go by what I'm doing here, but I'm just kind of showing you how I would approach this type of a scene. Now I want to make a nice turquoise for the center area there, so some blue, some yellow, and lots and lots of white. And let's go in here and give this a nice turquoise. Look at that. That's lovely now, isn't it? And we'll soften it across then, look. And I'm coming down here and there, softening it as I go. There we are. Come over there. I'll take a bit of blue and I'll add a little bit of blue over here. So you can see now how I'm kind of just softening colours together on the canvas. You know? A little bit of blue down here. Okay, let me sit back and take a look. So we have the nice reflection of that turquoise then, you see, in the water as well. So for the next section now, I may zoom in a little. I think I might. I think you'd like to see how I'm doing the next down here. We'll zoom in nice and close and get a nice video of the detail in this, okay? Now I have another bit of turquoise on my brush. Just going to kind of soften it through here and there. I just want to vary the colour in the ocean down here, that's all. And then I will just take a very bright colour, some Naples yellow and some cadmium yellow, and I will come down here and put that in just to show the real bright turquoise in that section there, just in the middle, you see? Just that little bit. So I'm finished now with the blues and all those turquoises. We're finished with that. We can put that brush away. My next job is to crack on and do the foam along the front first. So I'm giving my brushes a really good clean here now. I'm dipping them into my turpentine, a really good dip, and then giving me a good wash on my tissue. So we're nice and clean there now again, nice and dry. The next thing I'm going to do is take some white, and I'm going to take a hint of blue, and I might take a hint of the crimson. I'm using very, very small amounts with this now, okay? And would you like me to zoom in or stay back on my palette? What do you think? Okay, I'll just go along here first in little circles and get in this little ridge of splash just there, okay? It disappears off there. And what you could even do is, with that colour, soften it up into that splash up there, and let's bring it down into the blue. Let's soften it all together, nice and soft. Wiggle those two colours together. See that? Nice and gently. I'm kind of dragging the brush now across the canvas. There's no paint on my brush. I'm just softening the colours which are already there, okay? Softening them in together. How does that look? You see? It's all about softening colours. Now, let's try that again with some more over here. I'm going to take some white and a hint of that blue again. I'm going to stick with just white and blue for now. And I'm going to go along and get that little ridge in there. Let's get some white on its own. We go up then into our rock, look. So we're going up in front of our rock, and that's pushing the rock backwards then off into the distance. So the front down here now is going to get slightly bigger in places, so it's going to come down like this and then get smaller, and then we might have another piece which gets bigger and bigger here again. Okay, everyone can follow? Just a little bit at a time, that's all. And we do have a very dark area here, don't we? I like that. I want to get that in. So I'm going to take some blue, some black, and a hint of brown. Okay, the brown will mix with the blue and give it a greeny kind of a colour anyway, so not to worry. And I'm going to go in here now. I'm going to go up like that, okay, right up like that, and create this lovely sort of a dark colour in the centre here. Lovely dark colour coming down. So the wave is kind of crashing over, and it's going to soften then across left and right, okay? And we could even add a hint of that colour here and there as we go along. Okay, you see? A little bit there. And we could even put, let's mix some more of that now. Some black, some brown, some blue. Perhaps a hint of yellow, look. Just get a hint of yellow as well. A hint of that perhaps along here. So I'm going to create a little ridge along this side. It's going to disappear then off into nothing, you see? It's going to mix with the rest of the colour, but it's going to be really strong in here. It's going to be really dark and nice. I'm flicking the brush now downwards and across, okay? And lifting off all the way. How's that? And let's take a bit of blue. Let's add a little bit of blue into this. Just a hint of it. Again, soften it across. Look, I'm using my finger to soften it all in. See? And do the same with this. We soften it across like that with our fingers, and we put another little hint of it just there. So now we have this extra wave kind of crashing in here. That's going to be lovely when it's finished. I can't wait to see this. Then using that colour, look, let's just add a little bit of colour here and there into the water down the end. So you see, this was the 2-part tutorial. I could have done this very quickly at the beginning, but it wouldn't have been a proper tutorial. It would have been very, very rushed. So I'm going to go back now to my small flat brush, and we are still recording. That's good. Let's take some white and a hint of blue, a very, very whitey blue, and I'm going to just start putting in the foam down here. Okay? And you see, I'm only going around in little circles, that's all. Again, keep your brush nice and clean. That will make all the difference. And up into the brown rock then, look, and right along here. And the great thing about these brushes is that they're very kind of stuck out, you see, they're very sort of splayed. So it gives you lovely little blobs of colour just here and there. Now, how is that? Again, clean your brush. And what I'm even going to do here is, I'm going to take some black and some blue. Alright? And I'm going to go in under here and give them some nice dark colours. And that'll really make them pop now, won't it? See? Just along some of the edges, here and there. And that will really make them pop out, won't it? Look at that. And then even with the same brush, some white, and you can go along the end of that with some nice thick white paint, and just give it a couple of little wiggles here and there, look, see? Isn't that so easy? Now, I say it's easy, I mean it's just, again, it's kind of trial and error. It's trial and error because I don't know how something is going to turn out until it's finished. It could go the opposite way and look absolutely terrible, but I think for now, so far, it seems to be coming on nicely. So now what I'm going to do is just soften some of that in there, look. Okay, I will then go back to my other brush and I'm going to get some lights across here. So I'm just going to gently soften some of the white in just here and there, look. So you can see it sort of fades off, doesn't it? And also, with the same brush, I'll take some white now and I'll get some Naples yellow. Nice bright colour. Like what we did up on top, okay, Naples yellow with white. And I'm going to go along and just start adding some bright splash into this. And bear in mind now it is wet, very wet, so you're not going to see the paint will kind of start softening in almost immediately. Just give it a damp on your tissue and that will clean the brush then. Okay, so I just want to get some real bright sort of foam and splash just along here and there. And the touch of Naples yellow, it just really gives it really does help. It gives it that little bit of punch, you know. Now we can bring it down like that, look. Give it a couple of dabs here and there. And we can then soften it in. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is start adding some little ripples and all that kind of stuff right along there at the bottom. So I'm going to zoom in now for this next part. I'm going to zoom in, and there we go. Perfect. Okay, with a pointy brush I'll take some blue and some white, and I have lots of thinners in this as well, yes? Lots and lots of thinners. And I'm going to start putting some little wiggles like this, and even coming down as well, because that's how the water kind of behaves. If you're watching, if you could see the water up close, it comes down in wiggles like this. So I'll put one or two like this, right? And then as it comes down, it's going to break off, almost like branches coming off of a tree. You see that? I'll do the same here for you. You see? Just like so. And a tiny bit more blue now, I've just put it in a little bit of extra blue into that. And there's lots of turpentine in this. It's really, really watery. And then coming along, just give it a couple of flicks here and there. See? A couple of nice little flicks. Now sit back again and take a look. Yeah, it's coming on very nice now, isn't it? I am quite pleased, I have to say. And this did turn out much better than I expected, I'll be very honest. But you know what? Sometimes you just don't know until you try it how it's going to turn out. And that's the beauty of painting, and that's what I love about painting, is because every single painting that you do will be completely different and will surprise you in the techniques that have just kind of developed while you were doing it. And you'll always say to yourself, well, that was nice, I didn't know I could do that. And then the next painting, you'll have that idea in your head. And that's what painting is all about. That's the beauty of painting for me, is learning new things all of the time. It's the only hobby, I think, in the world where you will learn new things. Apart from reading books, I suppose, but painting, you know, you'll always learn something new. With every single painting that you do, you will learn something new. It's just amazing, isn't it? Now a little bit of white with blue, just along the top of this here, okay? Coming down, okay, just a little bit here and there, like that. And also, we'll have a couple of little bits of splash from some of these. I'm just kind of dotting them around here and there, you see, look, just little dots. Small, slight little dots here and there. Okay, and we'll go over here, add a couple of nice sharp white lines across here and there for that one. Now let's sit back again and take another look. Okay, we're getting coming on nicely, I would say. I will add a little bit more to this here. And what I might do actually is I might add a hint of shadow with a round brush into some of the foam here, okay? So I'm going to take some of the blue and I'll take a hint of brown. That'll give me a nice shadowy look. I'm going to put some shadow into some of this foam, okay? I'm just going to push it in just like this, here and there, because there will be some shadows cast in there as well. And I'll put a little bit on this side here, just softening it through with some dark greeny kind of a shadowy colour, you see? That's all. No big deal. Maybe a little bit along here and there. It just helps, I think, with the spray. It just kind of gives it that little bit of extra life, doesn't it? And we could maybe use a little bit of that over here as well. It's quite nice, that colour. I like that colour. Alright. Okay, let's see now how we're looking. And I won't go too complicated, alright? It's the first tutorial. I don't want to go too complicated with this tutorial. I just wanted to give you a little bit of detail. That's all, just a little bit. Okay, and we could add another little bit there. And again, a couple of those dark lines are quite nice, aren't they? One or two just here and there, look. No. And I think that is a very big success. One last thing I wanted to do, and that was I want to mix a nice warm colour for somewhere on this, up in the spray. So a nice sunlit kind of a colour. With my pointy brush I'm going to take some Naples yellow, a little touch of red, cadmium red this time that is, and lots of white. And I have a very bright, warm, sunlit kind of a colour then, yes? So equal amounts of both and then lots of white. And I'm going to go up and just add little hints of that just here and there to some of that spray. Look, just, it's really making it pop out in the sun, okay? So you can see that? It's just a real bright colour popping out here and there. And we'll even use some of this colour on perhaps the rock here and there. Just add a little bit of light into it. And you could use that same colour on the bottom. So cadmium red, Naples yellow, and even here and there on one or two of those little splashes just there, yeah? And let me see, perhaps one or two around here and there. And I think job done. Yes? What do you reckon? Should we sign? Let's sign this lovely painting. I'll come over here where it's dark and I'll sign. Okay? Now, S. Conway. Well, let me get plenty of water in this because it's very thick. S. Conway there. And let me see now, is there anything else that we can improve on? Perhaps over in this section over here, I don't know if you can see that, let me just move the camera. Now, So with this waves breaking here, I think a little bit of a darker tone on that would help. So some of the bluey green that we had, and starting from the top edge, I'm going to turn that down. Okay, I think that's a bit nicer. And bring it up slightly there. And then with a pointy brush as well, let's take a hint of Naples yellow with white and add one or two little flicks, small curvy little flicks coming down, just like that. That's not bad now at all, is it? And I'm also thinking, you see I'm starting to fiddle, I'm also thinking one or two kind of just maybe refine some of the lines around here, just with a little bit of that splash, you see, look, just refining the shape of it, that's all. One or two along here, and perhaps one or two here as well. And maybe even a hint of a warm greeny yellow just in there. Just a very small hint of it. And my friends, I think that's it. I think it's job done. Let me see, let me zoom back and see. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. I might, with a fan brush, if I can find it, where's my fan brush? Here it is. Perhaps just add a little bit of roughage just at the bottom here. So just like a couple of little flicks here and there, just to lighten it slightly and give it a bit more movement. How about that? Okay, again, I won't overdo it. And that, I think, is a huge success. Let's zoom in and see what we have done. Look at this. Wonderful. And it's full of life. Look at that, water everywhere. Isn't that just wonderful? And there we are. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an absolute joy. An absolute joy to paint. It really has. And thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, let me turn the camera. Oh, turn the camera here now and see. Let me talk to you properly. That's fantastic. No, I'm very happy with that. Let me know what you think. Try it. You can even do a smaller version of it, or just do one little kind of small wave crashing. But most importantly, just practice your techniques. Just practice. Just try one or two of those techniques. You know, I know it seems complicated when you look at the painting as a whole painting, but if you follow just little steps, it makes it much easier to paint. It's just a series of small little steps, one by one. That's all it is. So go on and try it. Let me see how you get on. I'll be back with you very, very soon. Thank you again so much for all your support. I really appreciate all your support. I don't know what to say. I'm really humbled. Thank you so much. And I'll be back very soon with another tutorial on YouTube. So until the next time, I will see you very soon. Thank you very, very much, and God bless. Happy painting.